I have seen it all. We started very small. I don't know if you heard this from anyone else, but in the early days, we had our meetings at each teacher's home would have the meeting at their house, and our bank account averaged about $250, and it was enough to get our help pay for judges and student, all the things back then. Things have changed quite a bit.
Good morning, Petra.
Good morning. It is so lovely to see you.
Okay, so
good morning.
Steinway Sons from Tampa Bay. We are supporting and providing for the Pinellas Teachers Association today. And Karen is a teacher. Cory Anderson is the president of the association. And they have like 16 students an hour, I think, participating.
About that.
Yes.
They're about
So
45 minutes long.
Here they are. We'll find two more teachers for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for giving me of your time, and because I would so love to hear about this project that you are doing.
Thank you. It's an honor for us too. This is our annual festival, our fall festival. Every year we hold it. It's a themed event. This year its theme is essentially etudes. Stating that, meaning that essentially almost anything is an etude if you're working to work on some technique or musical ideas. We had our first festival in 1997. It was a Sonatina festival, and we've had it every year. It's a big success every year. The students look forward to it. It's non-competitive. We have a judge who writes some comments, and they each get a little trophy at the end.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful that it's not competitive, because it gives them the opportunity to build their confidence and then to get the feedback.
Very true.
Yeah.
We do hold other competitive events too that are very popular too, but this is non-competitive, and you're right, because it gets some of the beginners going too. It doesn't matter what their level is.
And how wide are these, in the area, how wide, from where do they come from, all these students? Are they just from Tampa Bay?
Yeah, they come all from our particular county. Where the county we're in is Pinellas County. And there are two main counties in our area. There's Pinellas County and the one above us, which
Pasco.
Yeah, Pasco County, and we're the music teachers from that general region. I would say it's approximately a 20 or probably a 30-mile radius up and around the Tampa Bay area. Very nice weather, by the way. It's probably 28 degrees now here, and you're in Celsius. So it's very nice down here in Florida. So I need to wear a jacket. There's no snow. And so I would say it's these two counties, mostly all of the teachers in this area. We have a good number of teachers, probably around 40 or so teachers in this area who belong to this organization. And I'm currently the president this year of the organization. It's called the Greater Pinellas Music Teachers Association. So Pinellas is the county we live in, and it covers that whole area.
Yeah. Now, for the teachers in coming together like this, do they bring their students?
The students come with their parents for this kind of an event, but the teachers are here to support them, and we all have jobs to do at each event, each recital. There were a series of 8 recitals over the course of 2 days, 4 each day, and the chairman has a big job to do in setting it all up.
getting us all, giving us our jobs and coordinating everything. So
Yeah.
we're
And
very grateful.
the age group of the students?
I'd say from 4 until in this event maybe 18 or 17.
Really? Okay, so it's a great spectrum in age.
Yes, actually there's one adult who participates every year.
Oh, that's nice.
Really?
Actually, if you were here, Petra, the showrooms, I close the doors, are filled with children right now.
Really? Oh,
Oh,
that is
The
so
children
wonderful.
are just
Yes.
filling the hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
coming in
I
by
closed
the
the door to
dozens.
give us some privacy, but yes, the rooms are
Yeah.
filled, the recital, all the children are here. Let me get the other two teachers.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask, as teachers, do you see an increase in students coming for lessons over the past years, or a decrease?
Personally, I haven't seen a decrease in my studio, but in our large events, we've seen a decrease annually, I'd say.
Probably because of COVID, and COVID could explain some of it. Also, there is an increase in most teachers, actually. Most teachers who embrace the internet now, who are internet savvy at least, have Zoom or Skype or something. Most teachers have more students now via Skype or Zoom than they did before COVID.
Really?
So, which is a good thing. A lot of teachers also teach online, at least some. I happen to teach 100% of my students online.
Really? Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm a little different though. I started that about 10 years ago, even before COVID.
Mm.
But most of the teachers here teach in their homes or
Okay.
drive to homes, perhaps.
Yeah. And do you find that the online is effective? You don't need to have the contact with your students?
I think it's very effective. I've been doing it full time for 9 years. I'm on my
Really?
10th year now of teaching online, exclusively online. And I have students all over the world, which happen to be predominantly adults.
Oh,
So
I see.
I would
Yeah.
say 70% of my students are adults that I have online. Although here, these teachers in this festival we have here, they're predominantly children. I'd say 70, 80, perhaps even 90% children from the ages of 5 to 18.
Yeah. Well, this actually makes it then interesting because you can reach now people that could otherwise maybe not travel to you, or it could be that online can reach in countries where you know that they don't necessarily have to be in America to be able to have lessons with you.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I have students all over the world. I've had students from Austria. I've had students from Switzerland. I have a current student in Belgium. I've had students in the Netherlands and Germany and France. I've had students in the Orient and in China and all over the world. It really is a great thing. The internet is, which has made this possible for us.
So here's your vice president, right, Cory?
Yes, this is our vice president,
Hi.
Berthe
morning.
Honein.
My name is Berthe, Honein, yes, and I'm the vice president of the GBMTA.
It's so lovely
And I'm
to
the
meet
chair
you.
of, nice to meet you too. I'm the chair of today's event, the Fall Festival. It is annual, we do this every year. It's a non-competitive event. It's just to help the students, expand their repertoire and develop their performance skill. But even though it's non-competitive, we have a judge every year, a very distinguished judge who will come and listen to them and give them a comment sheet, very constructive and educational comments that will help them improve.
I see. And I've been talking to many young pianists who talk about the competitions that they do, and that these competitions also help them to get known about. But it's also competitions that give them the experience of competitions. But then we also talked about how necessary is it to be judged in a competition, because that's mainly the opinion of the judges who are there. Do you think that children at a young age, how important do you think are these types of non-competitive festivals where children get the opportunity to come and play and be seen and heard and have that experience of performing in front of people, but not that it's in a competitive environment?
Well, it is, it is important. It's like a training for real competitions in the future. And, when you get used to a teacher and he keeps telling you, like, I don't know, keep your round hand shape, etc., sometimes you stop listening. But if it comes from somebody new, like a judge, or say, oh, my teacher is right, maybe I should watch my tempo or my hand position or my phrasing or my breathing or whatever it is. So I guess it's really very important. Plus, they get an award. We have trophies for them after this festival, even though it's not competitive, but it's always, they always love it, it's always encouraging and motivating.
But that's great. And how long have you been teaching?
Oh, do you really want to know? Not to my advantage. Maybe, around 50 years.
Really?
Around 50 years.
And you, when did you start with piano? What age were you?
I started at the age of 4. Because
Really?
I was jealous from my older sister who was taking piano lessons, but I was too young to start. And then I started crying, and my mom told my teacher, just put her on the bench, so she stopped crying. And she put me on the bench, and the teacher told her, no, I'm going to teach her.
Can she also?
Sure.
Because she has a line of
Sure.
equipment.
Okay, so I will bid you a farewell, and we have another teacher coming here to talk with you.
Oh, wonderful!
So-
I just
Okay.
quickly want to ask you when you started playing the piano.
Oh, I started when I was 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've played for a long time, almost
Yeah.
50 years.
Well, I just want to say it's congratulations on this wonderful festival that you're doing, and that I'm so always thinking that teachers should be.
Bye-bye. I'm going to leave you, because I'm going to just start.
They're getting busy. All the students
yeah.
are here.
Hello,
Hi, hello.
how are you? I'm Emi Stefanov. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Emi. Nice to meet you too. Now, I just wanted to say that I'm so thinking always, when I speak to the artist, that there was a teacher behind this artist. There was somebody who, did the first piano lesson, and this is why I think the work that you are doing are so important. It's so important.
We think so as well, which is why we're part of this organization.
Yeah. No, that's great. So, and you have your students. How many students are coming from that you teach?
From my studio, about 90%. So like about 25 kids are coming that are from my studio. And then my mom also has students because we teach together at our studio. And she has about, I think, 20 of hers as well. So we almost make everybody come and participate in this festival.
Really? And what is
Yes.
it about the festival that you personally think is important?
Oh, it's a great opportunity for them to prepare for something. In our studio, we encourage very much that they have goals, and this happens to be one of the nice goals. We also do a masquerade recital in October for the same organization. And a lot of the younger ones do that one because they get to dress up as their songs and do little details, kind of Halloween idea, but not necessarily, Halloween. But like if they're playing parade, maybe they can have like a fun hat on or something, something that resembles. So a lot of the younger ones do this, and then the older ones we say for the fall festival, to do a piece, and it's one of our goals, in the beginning of this school year to this is the first goal that we have. And it's good to play for somebody else, to hear somebody else's comments, because 9 times out of 10, they say the same thing as the teachers do, but it's always better to hear it from somebody else. Because if somebody else tells you, then it's real. So it's a thing.
It's the same when you raise children as well. What I say and somebody else says the same, then it's just,
Yep.
But But this is so important that you say that they can dress up also with, when they play, because I was talking to Charlie Albright, the pianist. Do you know him? Of him?
Yeah.
Charlie Albright, yeah. And what really struck me from Charlie was the fact that he loves to, you can just by him talking about it, he just loves playing, and he's so entertaining, and it's almost the love that you have to have for piano playing that's also important. It's not just the technique or the fact that you play well, So this I find very lovely that you do that. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of, a lot of our students don't end up being, professional pianists for the rest of their world, that's the life. But I always say my job is to teach you how to be a well-rounded human, and playing music is really important, and that's part of it. And, and emotions and just, heart and everything about it. So if that's what we achieved, then great. We did it right.
Oh, you are a lovely teacher.
Oh, yes.
You guys have 5 minutes. No, actually, we have to stop now. All the kids are lined up.
Okay, so I have to go do my duties. It was so nice to talk to you.
It was
Very nice
lovely
to
to talk to you.
So anyway, just to make a long story short, I met Karen over the summer here
Yeah.
at the store, and we actually have common elements. We both went to Manhattan School of Music back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s.
That's right.
And we both had Zen and Fishbein, the same piano teacher, and here we're both in Florida.
And we were both from New Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey.
Really?
Yes,
It
Jersey.
took this music gallery in Clearwater to bring us together.
Yeah, it took me to get here.
That's true. That's true.
And
We're so glad she's here.
And also, they have a wonderful program that's going on today. See,
Just a
there
little
it
bit to
is.
this side. Hold
To the left.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wonderful.
See, there it is.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Mhm,
Oh, that's fantastic.
mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah.
If you
That
want
would
to
be great.
read.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we
But this
know
is
you're so
so-
busy. We
No,
really
this is
appreciate
so
it.
great. This is so great, but it's so lovely. This also shows you that the music community is so small, because you find people know each other. And how did you find each other now through a project like this, isn't it? It
We're
is
all
so
connected through the
amazing.
great arts
Yeah.
That's right.
at some degree.
Yeah, I find really, and even if I sometimes post interviews, I find that people comment on these interviews that, and they know each other, and then people from Austria knew somebody from America. This is for me incredible to know how you are all connected.
Speaking of Austria, young lady, I think our next interview, you should be sitting at one of your beautiful cafes outside and have a cappuccino.
Yeah.
That was a
all of
wonderful
us
idea.
can have a cappuccino together.
Well, I have to thank you. Sorry, I'm being called.
Okay, ciao, later.
Okay. Tina.
Okay, the children are coming in. The children have to be lined up
there
coming in
was-
through the door.
Oh, there was somebody standing at the back there. Did she want to?
Oh, wait, is she doing interview? I'm sorry, I can't hear two voices.
That's okay, yes.
She wants to do the interview?
Well, no,
You want to Zoom first on the room before I get the kids in?
Ah, okay. We'll take a quick peek. There's no children in there right now?
No.
Yeah, they have as you know, they have a rule here about children being on the, I'll be right back. Your name, ma'am?
Angela.
Angela, okay, I'll be right back.
Because I want to start, so.
Sure. So there's no, wait, there's a little one right there.
Yeah.
Berthe, do you want to say something?
Yes.
You see, here's the table. There are the trophies. Can you see that, Petra?
Yeah, I see.
I guess,
Okay, so. Hello, everyone. We're about to start. I'm so happy to be here with you all today in person, not virtually like last year, but at least we did it last year, right? So we're almost back to normal, and we're all so thrilled for that. So this year annual fall festival theme is essentially etude. An etude is a piece of music which focuses on a certain piano technique. So although the festival, you all know, is non-competitive, but we have a distinguished judge today with us, Professor Tina Giorgio, who's going to listen to the students and give them very constructional and educational comments to help them improve, of course, their performance skills and piano skills. We'll talk a little bit more about.
Excuse me.
Okay, so
Okay, so Pasha, she just wanted to give you a little, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, so here's one more teacher.
Yeah.
Here's one, right? You are a teacher, ma'am?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
and introduce
Yeah.
yourself.
Hi, my name's Angela Baptiste, and I've been with this organization since the 1980s. So-
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
So you've seen it all.
I have seen it all. We started
Yeah.
very small.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard this from anyone else, but in the early days, we had our meetings at each teacher's home would have the meeting at their house, and our bank account averaged about $250, and it was enough to get our help pay for judges and all the things back then. Things have changed quite a bit, but this group, I was the president when I was nominated president in, I think it was 2011, and me and the president of the St. Pete Greater St. Pete Music Teachers Association. We were the Upper Pinellas back then, and she and I got together because she was going to be the vice president with me, and we were finding that we just needed to combine the groups. So we ended up combining, and we became the Greater Pinellas Music Teachers Association. So we cover all of Pinellas.
Yeah. But
So-
isn't that wonderful that you started at the teachers' homes and now you are at Steinway, and it's such a
Yes.
lovely festival.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're so spoiled here. The pianos, the venue, Charlie and Jonathan are they're angels. They do everything for us teachers. And, I've gotten to be very close to them. They're just wonderful people. So, it's a pleasure. And this particular festival has gone on for many, many years. And it's our fall festival. And I'm sure you already been heard about all that.
I heard a little bit, yeah. I find it so lovely that it's non-competitive and that the children get this opportunity, because I think it's also important for them to be able to perform without the pressure of it being a competition.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yet get the judges' comments, like you said, so that they, along with the teacher, can say, okay, this is what we're going to work on.
Yeah.
And, for certain comments.
Yeah,
So,
because
yeah.
I've spoken to also many young pianists who say how important these competitions are, but then I've also heard from people that say, but they don't enjoy it, and it's not something that they think it's right for them. So I
Right.
think,
Well-
you always have that where you have a child that would thrive rather in a situation like this where it's non-competitive than a competition.
Right. Well, what I found with my students through the years is that there are students that just aren't cut out for competitions. And so this gives them, you want to come back in? So this gives them a venue, like you said,
Yeah.
which there isn't that pressure, and all kids at all ages can play. I have an adult student who's going to be performing on the next recital.
Oh, you're adult. We heard about this.
She's performed at many of the festivals.
Nice.
She hardly misses them. Her
Great.
name is Nora, and I've had her for. We tried to figure it out the other day. I think I've had her for 13, 14 or 15 years.
Really?
And she had some lessons before she came to me, but mostly just learning chords and kind of what you would play on a fake book, where you're just doing the melody and some chords. So she felt like she wasn't really learning. And now she's playing 2 Chopin waltzes and all this, but she's amazing because I said, Nora, you want to brush off an old piece for this? She said, no, why would I want to do that?
Oh,
I said, and so she's,
yeah.
she's going to play Pastoral by Bergmuller. So the other pieces, the more advanced pieces she's worked on, over the years. So, but she's up for the challenge, and
The new repertoire, all ages,
Yeah.
is very beneficial. Not playing the same pieces since you were 12 or 15.
Yeah, well, which I always do with her lessons anyway, but we didn't really start planning for this until the fall because I was off for the summer. So, she's pulled it together pretty good.
And I have a question to ask you, young lady. Maestra.
And what is your name?
Tina.
Tina,
Yes.
and I don't even have
Petra.
Petra, nice to meet you.
Because you've been with the organization for so many decades, right?
Yeah.
In a sense. The music gallery here, we've always provided, yes. And supported.
In the
all-
beginning, no. In the beginning, we had.
I wasn't here in the beginning.
Yeah, well, in the 80s, when I first joined, we actually met mostly in teachers' homes. And we had some of our recitals at what used to be called Toontown, which is way down the road and has changed hands many times.
Okay.
But nothing to compare to this beautiful venue. I always tell Charlie when I come here, I'm in a candy store.
Well, as you know, all Steinway stores nationwide, it's a protocol. We have to have a recital hall or make a
That's
room
awesome.
into recital hall
That's
for
awesome.
the teachers and their
Yes.
students.
That's
to have a place to
amazing.
perform on the greatest piano.
Well, you guys spoil us. You guys
Well-
really do. There's no question about that.
Well, I
So-
just say from this side of Zoom to just seeing this gallery it's music gallery. This is so beautiful, really.
It is gorgeous.
The renovations are gorgeous. aren't they?
But what I just wanted to add, what you said before is, I think there's sometimes a misconception also that you have to be, when you play the piano, it has to be perfect, or if you study piano, you can only do it when going to become a musician. But I think it's also so important to understand that many people just want to play the instrument for the love of it, just to enjoy it for themselves, and that they will never be performers, or they will only play,
For themselves
for the
or their
enjoyment.
family.
Yeah. And this is great,
It's a
and I
thing.
think children should also have that opportunity to know that I can also just play it just because for the enjoyment
Yes.
of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
Mhm.
one of the things I do is, and when I meet, I always have a double interview where if someone calls me up and they want to begin piano, which now I'm not taking that many students, more on the advanced side, because I'm trying to I'm semi-retired. Okay, let's
So
put
am
it
I.
that way. Okay.
Mhm.
So, but I say, you're going to come, you're going to see if I'm going to teach what you want, and that if you like me, and vice versa. So we have a kind of a double interview. And the thing I always tell them is that my first and most important job, whether I'm talking to an adult or I'm talking to a parent with their little kid there, is I say, I want your child to love music for their whole life. I said they can play soccer when they're little, they can play football, they can play all these other sports, but they can play the piano into their 90s if they live that long.
It's something that can never be taken away from them.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so the love of music for me with my kids is the ultimate. And I do tell those people who, first of all, I also have a rule about performance. You will never perform a piece you don't really like, so they have to fall in love with that piece, and then they start working on it. And I'm talking mostly classical, but I'll play a variety of things for them in the classical eras. And they have to say, that's the one I really want to work on, whether it's for a performance at the end have a grand recital at the end of the year, the school year, all the time, like all the teachers pretty much do. But whether it's for a performance or a competition, you know, they have to love it because they're going to spend, especially for a competition, hours and hours working on it.
And I had accompanied a Bartok viola concerto,
Oh my goodness.
but I did it anyway for the
Good
violas.
for you. Oh, that's awesome, Tina.
we still play music that sometimes we really can't get into it, but we
Yeah.
do it anyway
Yeah.
because there's a good purpose at the end.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
also
some of those pieces grow on you too, you know.
yeah. But I ask many times. I ask pianists who are their favorite composers, and when you ask this question and they start talking about their favorite composers, it's as if it's almost as if you would describe somebody you love, you know, because they
Exactly.
really light up and they talk
Exactly.
and they describe it in so much depth, and this is always wonderful for me when I ask this question, that they do that, you know, that they have.
Yes. Oh, I feel that way too.
Mm.
I feel that way. I'm kind of boring. My very all-time favorite is Frederick Chopin.
Well, look what we have on right
Yes,
now.
exactly.
I'm like melting.
And
Aren't you melting just
yes,
listening
yes,
to
yes.
these Chopin waltzes?
I had a teacher who studied at the Royal Academy of Music in London, and he played with so much depth of feeling. And I would literally be sitting next to him when he was playing a nocturne or a Chopin piece, and I would find myself in tears. And Chopin writes of himself or it's written of him that he never played the same piece the same way twice. And what does that give us? Well, we can't change the rhythm. We can't change the notes. Okay, we wouldn't want to. But it gives us that rubato that we can change as we're playing into something that even if it comes to us spontaneously, is like, oh, I'm gonna just, take a little more time here. The brain doesn't even think it. It's like the heart leads it. And so Chopin's my favorite. And after that, it's Beethoven.
Beethoven.
And I had a teacher in college who he was a performer and concert pianist, and Beethoven was his specialty. So, and just, that Beethoven composed orchestrally compared to Chopin, who composed he's the king of the piano, really, composer. The poet, yes. And
Poor Fred.
yes, the poet.
Poor Fred.
So, but with Beethoven, he heard everything orchestrally. So if you have a quarter note and then a rest, it's da, and then it's off. It's not just hit it and.
Hey, did you ever analyze his music in school? He
Totally.
did everything wrong. Beethoven, the great Beethoven.
Oh, but
did everything wrong.
Oh, but so.
Parallel fits and six, right?
Oh, yeah, but.
Yeah, remember those classes back in the day?
Oh, no, we analyze our music. I analyze it
Yeah.
with the students today.
Yeah.
We always see, what key are we in? Look at what he did. A lot of Beethoven in his developments, he
If he's a
introduces a new theme.
If he's a competition major today, he wouldn't last.
Oh my gosh, he would blow them out of the water, Tina.
Woods and compose.
Oh, he would blow them out of the water.
No, they would say, you can't do that.
Oh,
you can't
yeah.
do this.
Well, today, unfortunately, anything and everything, and sometimes it's not.
The music always
to
reflects
the,
the times.
to the
Always
detriment
reflects.
of the
Always
music.
reflects the times.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
Petra, it's nice to talk to you. Do you have any more questions?
It's 10 a.m.
No,
Did that start at 9:45 a.m.?
10.
Oh, it starts at 10. Okay.
I have students at the next one.
Oh, okay. But no, it was so lovely to talk to you, and thank you, Tina, so much for organizing this, because it's so interesting for me to talk to the teachers as well. And I've just said that many of the artists that I talk to, I always ask, who was your first teacher? Or I think it's so important to know there's a teacher
Teachers are
behind every
unknown.
artist.
They're very unknown. Like, who was
Yeah.
Horowitz's teacher?
Yeah.
Who was Rubinstein's teacher?
Right,
Who's
right,
Yavashai Richter's teacher?
Yeah.
Great. They all had great teachers.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Petra held me to this because back in August, I gave her a tour of our store.
Oh, wonderful.
And I was telling her about all the teacher programs we have here. Every
Yes.
dealer operates slightly differently, as you
Right.
know, but we support fully all musicians, not just pianists.
Right.
We have a competition coming in this afternoon, the conductor of the Tampa Bay Symphony,
Oh, how
Mark
wonderful.
Sforzani, whatever his name.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, and he's bringing young artists, violinists, pianists in here, and that's why you guys have to be out by 2 because he's coming in.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we support all musicians, some Steinway dealers, pianists, that's it.
Yeah.
And so she held me to it because in August she said to me, well, when you have another teachers event, please make sure you let me know.
Fantastic.
So when I found out, I was like, okay, I get
Yeah.
it. So sure.
Yeah.
I mean, every weekend we have recitals here, but they're like, teachers, students, but this is an actual association festival.
Yeah.
No, this is
Almost
wonderful.
competition evaluation. Yeah, all day today and tomorrow. So that's why we did
Oh,
this.
perfect.
So she can see now how we're
Yeah.
operating and supporting all
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
No,
You guys
this
are
is
amazing.
wonderful, and really, it's wonderful work that you're doing, and it's wonderful work that Tina's doing for the musicians as well. It's great, yeah. I think she's an asset to her company, Steinway and Sons, definitely.
Yeah, I make all the calls. I call 300 teachers. Oh, we're having a sale.
Yeah.
We're doing this. We're doing that.
Yeah. Listen,
Yeah,
sometimes getting these parents to get their kids on a beautiful instrument. I've had parents who have come more than once, 2, 3 times, and then they find an old piano that their aunt is getting rid of, and I'm just like,
We, the teachers, we
and
have
I
to educate them.
well, I'm
Yeah.
constantly trying, but
Suitable
believe me,
instruments are very
Yeah.
important.
exactly.
do you know
Yeah.
my mom is a fabric artist, and she has a quilting studio. She
Wonderful.
teaches, yeah. And then when the women come with an old sewing machine and a beautiful fabric, then she always asks them, what car do you drive? Because she says
Yeah,
that
that's a
you
good question.
You cannot sew with an old
That's a
sewing
great
machine and
question.
drive a nice
Yeah.
car. you have to do the same. You have to have the same
Yeah.
attitude. When you start sewing and putting all these hours of work in, you have
Yes.
to use the right sewing machine. So my mom's very harsh
Yeah,
when it comes to these sort of things. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
actually, Karen was telling me recently, one of her students was here. He bought an upright, a young boy. And as soon as the piano enters the house, I had the same experience teaching for 40 years. When the parents buy a suitable, upgrade piano, the children, my parents are
Everything-
serious about my
everything-
music
And,
education.
everything
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
everything changed. Yes, my parents are they're serious for my music education when a new piano
Exactly.
enters the
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Now that's.
So,
But ladies, it was so lovely to talk to you. And Tina, thank you so much again for this time that I had with you. Enjoy the rest of your festival.
Ciao.
Bye.
Arrivederci.